Hi, I'm Phil Dickinson. Welcome back to Bite Size Guide. In this video, we're going to be looking at power bins. A power bin is a folder that you share amongst all of your projects. Once you activate it, that power bin is like a folder for your media, but it appears on every one of your projects, including your old ones and any new ones that you create. The power bin folder is always there, and it's a folder that you can use to store things that you would normally use on most of your projects. If you've got like an intro title that you use on every video that you do, or you've got a specific set of titles that you use, or a pop-up subscribe button, or a video at the end of your videos, it can all go into your power bin folder. And then when you open up a new project, all that stuff is there waiting for you. So we're actually in the project management folder. And what we're going to do is create a new project. And we'll call it Power Bin and create that. And what we'll do, we'll go to the edit page. And we've got our media pool opened up already. So what we need to do, at the top of the media pool area, there's a little icon with 3 dots on it. If you click on that, about halfway down, we've got a line called Show Power Bins. So we'll click on that, and we'll just do it again, just make sure it's ticked. It is. And right down at the bottom, we've revealed our power bins. What we can do, we can drag that further up just so we can see what's going on. Now, like any other media pool area, it starts off with master. Obviously, there's nothing in there at the moment. Now, I've got a dedicated folder on my computer called Power Bin Stuff. I'll just drag it onto shot so you can see it. There. Power Bin Stuff. And inside that, I've got a lot of things that I use, or I would use in theory, in more than one project. Things like pop-up subscribe buttons, intro and outro videos, various types of music that I think are suitable for the kind of projects that I do. And there's a folder there for special effects, and in there's actually a National Trust logo that I use on my regular projects. So that's in there too. So what we can do is, whenever you've got some stuff, if you create a graphic or you find some music that you think, oh yeah, I might use that in another project, you can drag it into, or you can save it into this Power Bins folder. Well, that's what I do. And it's all there. It's all waiting for you when you create a new project, because what we do is we'll grab hold of that folder with the left mouse button, and we're going to pull it over to our master, Power Bins master folder, and let go. And there we have it. It's dropped in that folder. So if I open up that folder again, see, it's a perfect copy of the Power Bin Stuff folder that I've got. You have to remember, these are actually just shortcuts. They're actually the real folders. What it's doing is mimicking the file structure. But when you click on that, it actually goes to this file here. So that's pretty good. That means I've got all my stuff in one place, stuff that I would use. So if I close that off, what we're going to do now is just go to our project manager. That's our Power Bins folder that we just created. What we're going to do is now look at an old project that I've got. I've left open here just for this purpose. If I click on that, this is an old folder. This is an old project rather. And there you see Power Bins, all that stuff that I imported into that previous project is actually now showing up in an an old project that wasn't there before. So it's available to your old projects. And we'll go back to project management folder and we'll create another project. We'll call it test PB for test power bins, and we'll create that. This is a brand new project, and you can see a brand new project gets the same power bin stuff. Very convenient. So if we go back to our original power bins folder, this is the one. This is the project that we originally created the power bin stuff in, and it's all there. So as we can see, the power bins folder that we've created is available to every project that we've got, old and new. Now, if we bring back our power bins folder again, just to have a look at it, it's the same, obviously, because we've just dragged it over. But if we added two new files, I've got two new MP3 files. I'll drag them in. So now we've got some extra stuff. Nothing happens in our power bins. That's because by default you have to manually synchronize the two. So if I right click on the area, I have to go to resync media files. If I click on that, if you look here as I do that, it brings them in. Anything that you've put into the folder, it will synchronize up and it will show up on your power bins area in your project. And that again will show up in old and new projects alike. It's always the same. Now that's okay if you remember to do it. I suppose it's not an inconvenience to right click and do that, but there is an even better way. So if I right click again, I can click on automatically resync media files. What I'll do, I'll just remove those 4 audio tracks just as a demonstration. And we'll bring back up our power bins folder on our computer. What we'll do, we'll right click and we'll tick automatically resync media files. So when I do that, after a few seconds, it will sync them up and then they come back in again by themselves, basically. And so now, because I've got that ticked, whenever I put anything into my power bins folder, as soon as I open up a project, it will automatically sync the two, and all those files will be available to me without me having to manually sync up the folders. And what it will do is continue to sync up that folder every few seconds. So if you keep on putting stuff into that folder, after 10-20 seconds, it will appear in your project file under your power bins, and it will do that indefinitely. Pretty good. Now that's one aspect of power bins. There is another aspect that we can look at. If we go to master and right click and create a new power bin, we'll call it titles from timeline. So what you can actually do, if I open up the effects page and go to titles and then text plus, I can drag a text plus file onto my timeline as I would whenever I was working on a project. I'll just expand that. And then what I'll do is highlight it, drag the playhead over it, and we'll just customize it a little bit. We'll call it Power bins are great. And we'll change the colour just so we can recognise it. Okay, that. And then what we can do then is drag it down and we can shrink it down into the corner. Power bins are great. And what we're going to do then is go to File and change the name of the file to what it actually says, just to make it easy for us. We'll call it Power bins are great. See, and it's on the actual file itself, it's actually changed the title. Power bins are great. And what we're going to do then, we'll get rid of our effects, go back to titles. What we can do, we can grab hold of that with our left mouse button and we can drag that into our Power bins folder. The titles from timeline Power bins folder. If I let go of that, there it is. And that's that. So if I then delete that off, what I can do, I can drag that back into our project again. And if I hover over it, that's what we've got. Now, because we've done that and moved it into our Power bins, if we come out of this project, go back to Project Manager and go back to our test Power bin project, that's our second project that we've created. We'll open that one up. And as you can see, the titles from timeline is showing up in this project too. And if we click on that, there's our Power bins are great title. So if we drag that onto our timeline on this brand new project and move our playhead over, there we've got the identical title. So if you're wanting to do a specific title every time for every project, then you can do that, drag it into there, and then you can use that every time. And there's no guesswork. It'll be identical every time you use it, which is pretty handy. You really can do that with most things. You could even do it with like voiceovers. You could create a voiceover and you could drag that audio clip into your titles from timeline. And then you could use that audio clip on all your other projects. You know, the world's your oyster, as they say. You just have to play with it and work out what you can do and what you can't do. Some of the things you can't do, for instance, are you can't pull a timeline itself into Power bins. If you've ever tried to do a compound clip, if you've seen the video that we've done on compound clips, it's quite a good video that, where you can amalgamate all of your elements on your timeline into one file, and it simplifies your timeline. If its timeline starting to get a bit complicated, you can put everything into one file. You have to, if you're interested in that, there is a video called Compound Clips. You can't pull the compound clip into the Power bins because it's too complicated. It's quite a complex file because it's made up of other files. And there's certain things in Fusion. If you create a Fusion effect, some of those you can't put into your Power bins either, probably for the same reason. They can be quite complicated. You can't do that at the moment, but in the future, who knows? You might be able to do that. DaVinci Resolve gets updated quite regularly. It has at least one major upgrade every year. So it's moving all the time. DaVinci Resolve. That's what's so great about it. It's been developed all the time. But there we go. I hope you found that interesting, and I hope you find a use for that. It is quite useful. I use this. I use Power bins every day. It just makes life so much simpler, and it saves you loads of time. So thank you for watching. If you found this video useful, please give us a thumbs up and click on subscribe. And also, please leave a comment. The more comments we get, the more improvements we can make to these videos, and the better and more useful they'll be to people in the future. I'm Phil, and this is Bite Size Guide. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.